Okay, well, this new video series is going to be called Confessions of a Bow Hunter, and what I hope to do is just basically throughout the year, kind of just document what I go through and what the team is going through on a daily basis. The goal is to do kind of just these kind of intimate confessionals with you guys, to fill you guys in on, you know, the struggles that we're facing, or the successes that we're having. And so today is October 14th, and kind of going to do the first one tonight. I just literally came in from the stand. I'm starving, and I'm frustrated a little bit because I'm hunting this piece of property that we just got about 6 weeks ago. We've had 7, 8 cameras out, 3 different mineral sites, and we have a total of like 22 pictures of deer in the last 6 weeks. But in the last 4 or 5 days, I've got one location down by the corner of the property that's next to the back end of the cornfield, and it's a little draw that goes back up into the timber. The ground that we're hunting was strip mined I don't know how many years ago, so they're literally, I don't know, I think I've counted it on two hands. There's about a dozen trees on the entire 160 acres that is anything over 12 inches in diameter. So finding places to put tree stands is ridiculous, and everything is just really thick, young growth. It's very, very hard hunting, but that's something that probably a lot of you guys face. So I relate this a lot to some public ground down by Woodbury, which is where we live. You don't know what's going to walk by. You don't know what you've got. I've actually tried to not take any does off the property because of the simple fact that I don't see very many does on camera. So right now the buck to doe ratio is pretty even. Now we're also fighting the simple fact that we're dealing with a lot of standing corn. But getting back to why I'm hunting a particular set, I threw a double set of lone wolves up on this one tree down in this bottom, is what I call it. And it's just basically a travel corridor between the big timber of the neighbors and then the big cornfield that's down below us. And it's just a little draw that's got some grass in it. We threw a mineral lick out there and some cameras, and last week I got some pretty foggy pictures on this cuttyback that is one of the old school cuttybacks, and we had a lot of rain last week, and I couldn't tell what he was. All I could just tell was finally there was a shooter that I finally found, and I've been able to finally dissect the property enough to know where to go. You know, these deer were hunted so hard probably in the previous years, and the reason why I know that is because I find more evidence of 5-gallon buckets and piles of eared corn with flags, which is telltale signs, evidence of the type of people that used to hunt it. I find more of those than I find deer. So I've been able to dissect the ground enough to figure out where I think if the pressure was on, where would I go, and where would these deer mostly go. Using the south-facing slopes as well as the cornfield and being low down out of visibility, I've been able to track it down and finally have a shooter buck. This guy's a giant. I yanked that cuttyback out of there, and I put one of my best covert cameras down there, and I'm finally getting good pictures. And granted, they are in the middle of the night, and we don't have any daytime pictures of him, but bottom line is we know what he is. He's at least, I'm going to guess him to be at least 6 years old. He would definitely be my biggest buck to date by far. He's just a giant, big drop tine on his right side. He's just a beautiful, beautiful deer, and I've named him Kansas. I went ahead and just named him Kansas just because he's typical of the type of deer that I see in Kansas. And when I was guiding out in Nebraska, a lot of the pictures that we saw coming out of Kansas, it just reminds me of a Kansas whitetail. So that's why I named it Kansas. But anyways, it's frustrating. Tonight was a good night. I've got to be really careful with that wind in that stand, just because of the fact that I cannot hunt that stand in any kind of a southwest wind. I can't, because then my scent blows right into the corn. I can't hunt it on any kind of a southeast wind or a straight east wind, because then it would blow right up into that draw. So tonight we had a northeast wind, and then once I got in the stand, and just so you know, I'm solo hunting. I'm self-filming this whole thing. I just can't jeopardize having two human scent up in a tree. I'm using an ozonics. I'm taking all the precautions I possibly can. I'm not getting dressed until I get out into the field. Taking every precaution that I can, but just not seeing any movement during daytime hours. So I'm going to keep at him. I'm going to hunt this deer. Problem is that we're going to lose this piece of property November 1, unless the guy that has it will allow us to continue to hunt it after November 1. But as of November 1, he's going to start booking hunts off the piece of property. So I've only got a few days left before he could be somebody else's material, and that would suck. It would suck to put that much work into a deer. I've put 6 weeks straight into trying to find this deer and find evidence of him and stuff like that, and I finally have. So we're going to keep at it. I'm going to go out in the morning. I'm going to go out super early in the morning. I'm going to get back in that exact same tree, because the winds will be the same, and I can kind of see if there's any morning movement out of that tree. And then I'm going to probably back out of there about noon. Got some stuff to do up at ABB, and then I'm probably going to hold off tomorrow night, because I just got a lot of other stuff to do. I've got video to edit for Bow Junkie and some other stuff. So I'm going to hunt it hard. Friday looks like a really good day as far as the moon phase, but I'm whooped. I'm tired, and the whole point of these videos is just to kind of bring you guys in on the reality of what we go through as well. It's not, it's not big deer every time you walk out of the door around here, and this is one of those things where I would actually rather take you guys on a journey of a whole year trying to hunt a particular deer, the ups and downs of it, instead of going to 4 or 5 different states and just hunting deer. To me, it's about the hunt. To me, it's about the entire experience, and to me, this means a lot, because it's a huge challenge. It's a huge challenge. Number one, not owning the ground, and just that can be taken away from you at any moment. But the second thing of it, finding a particular deer and hunting that deer, trying to outwit him and play the chess match, and hoping that he messes up, and you can and you can take advantage of that. So to me, this is more of what it's about. Jeremy is hunting a particular deer. I know that Jay's got a couple deer up where he's at, and then I know Brad's got a bunch of deer that he's looking at. But I'm focusing on this one particular deer we call Kansas, and I literally am going to hunt him all year long. So as long as it takes, as long as I'm physically allowed to hunt him, I'm going to hunt this deer. I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. So let me know what you think, and any words of encouragement are greatly appreciated. I hope to be in a little bit maybe better spirits tomorrow night when I update, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to get something to eat though. So good night.